All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between PCG123 and Deathnote. This game taking place here on Last Refuge version 1.5. PCG123 spawning as the yellow undead on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have Deathnote spawning as the blue human on the bottom left. Things getting underway here as we're looking at, well, Altar of Kings being placed down, Altar of Darkness also being summoned. Let's go to that 2x speed, get to that 2, or at least that 1 minute mark to figure out the heroes, and I'll try and make some predictions. All right. First of all, I want to thank you all for the support. One person in particular, thank you for the donation. It definitely does help me out. Actually got a pretty cool toy ordered a pretty cool toy over Christmas, and it finally came in. Yeah, it was an expensive toy, but putting it together, I was just absolutely amazed and dumbfounded by it. Maybe I'll show it a little bit later. Let me know if you guys want to see it in the comments below. Also, another funny, Lich first. Another funny thing, I was reading through the comments, and someone was saying, yeah, you talk too fast. Can you try and talk with with the pace of the game? Because I watch at double speed. And I'm like, I'm sorry, your double speed talk makes my voice too fast for you. However, will you solve that problem? Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here in this matchup. Archmage gonna go ahead and militia clear out this creep camp here. A 3-3-3 creep camp should be pretty quick. Meanwhile, a Lich first coming across by PCG123. He has sold that Scroll of Town Portal. That Scroll of Town Portal worth 175 gold, but that little bit of additional time, that 175 gold, translates to 17.5 seconds if you are at full saturation. And that 17.5 seconds, well, as I've said before, all real-time strategy games are a game of time. If you're able to perhaps tech to tier 2 faster by 15, 17.5 seconds, you may be able to get units out, those higher tier units out on the battlefield slightly faster, and then continue to translate and push that advantage. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Lich now trying to go after this Murloc Nightcrawler creep camp. There goes an ensnare down onto a little, summoned unit, as one easy to kill skeletal minion will get taken down. Archmage, I do not believe, got the experience, as we see some poison being spread across all of those ghouls and skeletal minions again. That Murloc Nightcrawler can rack up quite a bit of damage. Archmage now purposely trying to back away. He does have that Ring of Protection +4, but that will not help him against that, well, high damage Frost Nova coming across by that Lich. Lich is most likely trying to steal that last hit there. 214 hit points, little bit of damage going back and forth. And this game is more of a game of distraction right now. Both sides are trying to get experience on their hero while denying experience on the other. And PCG123, with the threat of that Frost Nova, can really put in quite a bit of damage. All right, there goes one Murloc getting taken down. Archmage, however, still shy of level 2, as we're seeing the skeletal minions now trying to dive in after all these units here. Archmage gets to level 2 here, gets the Brilliance Aura, and that's exactly what PCG123 was trying to prevent. Now that the Archmage has that Brilliance Aura, mana regeneration is at such a faster rate now that more water elementals will be, well, making a big splash in this game. As the ghouls are being forced to back off here, PCG123 is still stuck. He has full mana, finally getting a Frost Nova off onto the Archmage there, as, well, if you are not recovering mana, then that is pretty much a lost resource. So placing down or getting up a Frost Nova at least to try and put pressure onto the Archmage, get him within that blast range, down to 280 hit points already. Low hit point ghouls getting sent back home with higher hit point fresh ones, fresh from the lumber line, ready to engage once more. Now the Lich has only gotten 20 experience after all this time here. Archmage up to 212, but you can see that Lich getting in quite a few shots already. Now this Ring of Protection +4, is it going to be enough? It does help with damage mitigation, adding in, what, 6 times 500, 6%, 24% of, oh my gosh, 6% effective more hit points per, so at least about 100 points of effective hit points, and then add in all that natural regeneration and all that good stuff, makes all of this Warcraft 3 math, it can get complicated. Back behind this, though, Deathnote has gotten an Arcane Vault and is already teching to keep, or teching from keep to castle. Meanwhile, we are looking at Black Halls of the Dead going to Black Citadel as well, and both of this is all off of one base play. Mountain King gonna make an appearance here in just a moment, and 6 minutes into this game, we are looking at everyone pretty much very low on experience, now finally trying to clear out their own respective creep camps. Mountain King out on the battlefield, low hit point ghouls, well, they're just kind of rotating in and out of the fight here. They want to make sure that they're dealing damage as, well, accidental loss right there. Thank you for the sub, New 31. Every sub does definitely help and support the channel. Archmage gonna go ahead and pick up that Wand of Illusion. All right. Archmage now making its rounds out here. And we're going to be looking at that Mountain King Archmage. Going to go ahead, attack the Ogre Magi, perhaps come back. Should be dropping a Water Elemental once it is available. This Water Elemental down to, well, dead already, as the Forest Troll Trapper high priority targeted that unit there. Archmage wants to get up to level 3, but I believe will be shy, as the Mountain King is also taking some of that precious experience. We're going to see Deathnote most likely retreat back, get a Scroll of Regeneration before pushing on out once again. A lot of low hit point footmen taking quite a bit of damage. Illusion now keeping track of the Lich and the newly trained Death Knight that is out on the battlefield, as we are going into Obsidian statues as well. There's that Scroll of Regeneration that we were totally expecting. Workshop now adding in as well. Going to have perhaps some Dragon Hawks or Griffins. Griffins very important at sniping down those Obsidian statues. And then, well, the flying machines there to take out any of those destroyers. Meanwhile, we're looking at a potential creep jack here. Ogre Magi trying to make its way back over. Are we going to see a Stormbolt perhaps go down on the Ogre Magi? No, Ogre Magi just simply walking back here. Both sides trying to be extremely cautious in this upcoming fight here, as the Death Knight, well, both sides just want to get enough experience and perhaps steal it from their opponent. All right, going into an engagement here. Footman doing a little bit of a dance back and forth. There goes one Forest Troll High Priest. There goes a Stormbolt onto a Ghoul. Frost Nova to slow it down. Death Coil for the save, as the Footman now taking a bit of, well, bonus or extra damage because of that loss of armor. That low hit point Footman most likely will fall back home. Or nope, the entire army falling back home, as, interestingly enough, Deathnote actually moving with formation movement, hence why it looks like that Archmage is moving so slowly. All right, trying to keep in line with those footmen and all of those other units there. We'll see if formation movement actually causes a problem, as the Ghoul, Naga, Sea Witch, and Lich are now trying to chase after here. Formation movement, an absolute nightmare when you are getting followed. As you're being followed, your Archmage is actually staying, trailing behind, as you normally want your Archmage in the furthest back when you're engaging against the opponent. All right, here we are, here we go. Both sides about to start a fight here. We're looking at some damage being done. Griffin Rider trying to retreat all the way back. Where are those Crypt Fiends? I could have sworn there were some Crypt Fiends earlier in the fight, as the Griffins now having a little bit of problems. All right, Griffin trying to retreat back. Some Naga Sea Witch damage. It looks as though the Griffin's going to get taken out. No, Staff of Sanctuary saves it there. Are we going to see a Devour Magic? We are. So the Devour Magic actually stopping the Griffin Rider from being able to fully heal, as Militia being called over. The Destroyers do have some mana. We're going to see some Devour Magic as well, as there is not enough flying machines to really stop this onslaught now. Naga Sea Witch, well, Death Knight of PCG 123, extremely greedy here, going after a creep camp right next to his opponent, and there was sight up onto the high ground. This could be extremely bad news, as the units are now trying to retreat back once more. All right, the creeps are now engaging against the Forest Troll Berserker here, and both sides are still fighting their way again. 48 supply to 48, both sides looking to fight their way through. We're looking at, well, an Ogre Mauler about to get taken down. That gives level 3 and level 2 to the Mountain King. A nice double level up, as the Mountain King unable to catch up to that Naga Sea Witch. That Naga Sea Witch is prime for Stormbolt. There's a quick health stone, and with that health stone there, saving that unit. Paladin now looking to, well, regroup high ground there as the Mountain King's cooldown for that Stormbolt preventing, well, that ghoul from getting stunned. Looking at 48 supply compared to 52. Deathnote in that awkward low upkeep scenario, paying, well, 30% taxes, only getting 7 gold a second compared to his opponent's 10 gold a second. Coming back around, we're looking at, well, an Acolyte easily getting taken down here. Deathnote needs to make something happen with this larger army, going after creeps, perhaps clearing out creep camps faster and getting a higher level could work, but, well, he needs to make something happen quickly. If PCG 123 starts to bank up a large amount of gold, he'll be able to hit perhaps 60 to 70 supply faster than Deathnote, who is just inching along, paying taxes along the way. Archmage purposely hanging back as well. You see one staff of Sanctuary, and that is it amongst all of the human army. Griffins are here as well. Mountain King, is it going to perhaps get to level 3? It's not going to be able to get there with all 3 heroes fighting nearby. And we are also looking at no animal war training now being completed, but still no indication of knights, as we don't see any Crypt Fiends as of yet. All right, so Griffins and Flying Machines, to the skies they go, as we're going to be going into an engagement now. All right, Flying Machine's going to try and burst down on those Destroyers. The Destroyers do have a little bit of mana, as they're quickly going to retreat back. Fork Lightning taking down many of the Militia, as we see a little bit of a problem here. Lich being forced to fly all the way, or retreat back. One Destroyer does get taken down, but so did a handful of other units as well on the human side. What is happening? Off to the north, Obsidian Statue, well, Lich, Naga Sea Witch, all of these, well, close creep camps should give level 3 to the Death Knight and inch that Naga Sea Witch closer to level 3 as well. Meanwhile, Archmage of Deathnote leading the charge, trying to go after this red creep camp here. That's going to be an aggressive creep camp, trying to gain even more powerful items, as we see a Medallion of Courage being left behind. Mountain King will level up here. Medallion of Courage, Strength and Intelligence, just what the Mountain King and also the Paladin really want, as we could see a double level up on the Mountain King and that Paladin. All right, multiple level 3 heroes suddenly on both sides, as the Lich is at level 3, Death Knight is at level 3, and the Naga Sea Witch not too shy from level 3 either. However, it is going to be the Mountain King and the Paladin with level 2 Holy Light and level 2, level 2 Thunderclap, which could make profound impact on the game overall. All right, as that Naga Sea Witch inches closer towards level 3, all of these creep camps are slowly getting cleared out. No Warden taken out there. Paladin does have Divine Shield. That is a lot of flying machines in the sky that really won't be able to do much of anything once those Destroyers are down. We're seeing an introduction of Crypt Fiends as well, and without any, well, and the introduction of Knights to counter those Crypt Fiends. The Flying Machines have been, well, keeping track of the undead army nicely, and Deathnote doing a great job trying to have the right counter units. That's right, I forgot. For some reason, my chat isn't working. Oh, maybe my chat box now will work? I don't know. Let me know if my chat box is working now. I may have accidentally turned it off. I'm trying to turn it back on. Anyways, let's go ahead and engage. Flying Machine's going to go ahead and well, try and burst down this Naga Sea Witch. Flying Machine, or it's not, well, excuse me, the Griffin's trying to burst down that Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch now with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, able to stick around and stay alive, as Crypt Fiends are now getting taken down. That squadron of Flying Machines not doing very much of anything, as the Naga Sea Witch does get picked off pretty quickly. Naga Sea Witch falls at level 3. However, all of these Griffins are actually getting taken down as well. This transition into mass Crypt Fiends completely catching Deathnote off guard, as there's just not enough Knights here to deal with them just quite quite yet. Even with their Sundering Blades, there's not enough damage. All right, Paladin down to 185 hit points. He's trying to retreat back. We're going to see another Death Coil there as the Flying Machines really need those bombs in order to bombard these units. There goes a nice Thunderclap, and the Crypt Fiend finally gets taken down after all this time. Death Knight, however, still has plenty of mana. Are we going to see a Holy Light? No, we are not. Death Coil and a beautiful, beautiful Divine Shield dodge, or dodge prevention there. Mountain King now continuing to fight, perhaps going to lay a Stormbolt down on that Crypt Fiend. Does not do that, oddly enough, as the units fall back again. All right, Paladin sitting at level 3, Mountain King sitting at level 3, Archmage sitting at level 3, hiding behind this one Arcane Tower. Oh my gosh, that's the first chat I get. Thank you very much. As another Crypt Fiend gets taken down, Archmage gets blasted right there. So Archmage getting shut down in just a moment as the Flying Machines now finally get that bomb upgrade. The Death Coil was in a time, but the Paladin had a sliver of health left after all of that, as the Flying Machines are now going after the Destroyers. Mountain King trying to retreat back here. Paladin doesn't have enough mana. Knight's now trying to come back across 62 supply compared to 47, as the economic advantage of Deathnote starting to pull ahead. All right. Okay, coming back through, arcane feedback onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now down to 102 mana. Meanwhile, Archmage getting resurrected the old-fashioned way, as we see some scrolls of regeneration and perhaps some and a clarity potion on the Paladin to try and get a bit more mana. Flying Machines are still trying to bombard down the all of these Obsidian statues, and that could actually deal enough damage. All right, Obsidian statue down to 34 hit points. If the Griffin Rider gets the last shot off, yes, going to be able to finish it, and now the glue holding the army together is finally falling apart. All right, nice Thunderclap there, trying to slow down all of these Crypt Fiends. I just remembered why Stormbolt hasn't been used as much. It was only the level 1 variety, not able to snipe down the units as effectively. Paladin continuing to get some holy lights off here. Griffin's getting taken out. Flying Machines want to join in on the fight, but they know that siege damage isn't going to be quite enough. More holy lights keeping that Mountain King alive as the Crypt Fiends are trying to dodge away from all of those knights here. All right, more damage getting racked up. Are we going to see another bit of Sundering Blades as that Crypt Fiend down to 25 hit points finally gets cleaned up? Paladin gets up to level 4 during all this time. He's trying to get away. He also has a potion of invulnerability, as new Obsidian statues are now out here on the battlefield. All right, coming back through. Thanks, Pastor Dave. As we're still looking to still fight their fight on this battle. Archmage out here on the battlefield with Brilliance Aura now, going to help keep all of these units alive a little while longer with the help of spells. Staff of Sanctuary teleporting a unit back home, as the economic advantage still holds true, at least for now. But no Arcane Tower here means that there is, well, lacking in protection. 38 supply army going up against 39. One Griffin Rider webbed down, will get cleaned up as the Lich now gets to level 5. Coming back through, Archmage, Paladin, Mountain King on the move here. Town Hall, well, very resilient against the magic and heroic damage and piercing damage of this undead army. Knights still trying to lead the charge here, as the Lich may try to go for another Frost Nova. Are we going to see a Stormbolt go down onto the Lich? Yes, we do. Death Coil should be inbound, as the Paladin is still trying to keep a little bit of that distance again. Mountain King unable to finish off that Lich, but the Death Knight was nearby enough to offer some support. All right, as the Militia coming back over and then going to perhaps start, mining from that gold mine. The main gold mines only have 100 seconds of mining left. A minute and a half about at this point, so PCG 123 needs to make something happen. Deathnote can sit back and kind of almost relax a little bit, knowing that the fight has to be brought to him. The problem is that even if the fight is brought to him, he doesn't have as big of a home field advantage as he would like. There's not enough hit points on this Town Hall. It could fall easily, and the ghouls are just raiding across here. The fact that this gargantuan sea turtle purposely walked away probably caused a little bit of problems, as the Archmage now finally gets up to level 4 for level 2 Brilliance Aura. Fly machines could try and engage against those obsidian statues. Naga Sea Witch now trying to make their way here, as we're looking at a bit of a split undead army. All right, more damage getting racked up. There's some damage onto the Paladin. Paladin quickly uses a Divine Shield to try and stay alive, at least for now. There's a Thunderclap slowing down all those Crypt Fiends, and here we are going off to the races. Lich could be in trouble, down to 200 hit points after a Death Coil. Does have a Scroll of Town Portal, but uses a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability instead. Unit still trying to retreat back. There's a Death Coil to try and heal up. Paladin, level 2 Divine Shield, as we're going to see a Scroll of Town Portal come in across from the Archmage. Archmage trying to retreat back with all of these units to stay alive, but Deathnote is going to lose this Town Hall. All right, walk of shame it is. Walking from your neighbor's gold mine back to yours in order to well, get a little bit of gold going. Good day, good day. Thank you for tuning in. Archmage gonna go ahead and just heal up once more. Level 5 on that Lich could be the problem. That level 3 Frost Nova is very deadly, and, well, the Paladin has been constantly targeted. Now, the Mountain King does have that Medallion of Courage, and has plenty of mana. Perhaps it could be shifted over to that Paladin. Paladin also has that Ring of Regeneration, so every time it uses a Divine Shield or a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, it will passively regenerate a fair amount of hit points. Workshop now getting in trouble here, as the Lich is continuing to put pressure onto this Knight. All right, pushing back the other way. Knight's now trying to lead the charge. Fly machines hanging back here. Are we going to see anything? Death Coil onto the Lich, as the Lich does stay alive. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability transferred over again, as there's a giant traffic jam preventing that Lich from being able to get away. There's another Death Coil of no Stormbolt, as we're looking at more units just falling slowly but surely. Death Knight now takes a Death Coil. There's a big Frost Nova, giving level 4 to the Naga Sea Witch, as both sides pushing their way through. Death Knight on the cusp of level 5. There's a massive Thunderclap there, slowing all of the auto attacks, as the Mountain King, well, trying to win this with all of his spells. Now Stormbolting down a Crypt Fiend. It looks as though, well, nope, Dark Ritual gonna deny that bit of experience, as the Lich gets a little bit more mana again. 41 supply compared to 51, and not having an Arcane Tower at the Expo after the units retreated back, that was perhaps the mistake there. Deathnote needed to hold on to that economic advantage, but couldn't, and now, well, standing armies, PCG 1, 2, 3 slightly ahead. Flying machines still flying around here. We're looking at the Paladin, who could be in trouble. We're going to go ahead, going into an engagement. Devour Magic. There's an Abomination in that front line spot. Crypt Fiends able to fight their way through. Mountain King trying to line things up, get a Thunderclap there. There's that Thunderclap slowing down all of those units, as the Crypt Fiends, or the Crypt Fiends now need to back away. Mountain King, is it going to be able to get that Lich? Lich could be in a little bit of trouble. Stormbolt, no Stormbolt. Lich with those boots of speed, well, hovering across the battlefield quickly, as we're looking at an Abomination about to get taken down. Stormbolt now going onto the Lich, but the Lich dodges with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and returns the favor against the Paladin. Paladin now down to 257, 258 hit points. There's a Death Coil and a Potion of Invulnerability return as well. Death Knight could be in trouble. Death Knight takes a Holy Light, and Death Knight falls at level 5. Staff of Sanctuary for the save on the Mountain King. Mountain King protected by that Arcane Tower, as the unit's still fighting back the other way. All right, there's a Holy Light to try and save. Lich could be in trouble, but the Mountain King is currently out of commission, as it is regenerating hit points. Both sides fighting their way through. Knights going after Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends could continually fall, and that could become a problem, as we see another Staff of Sanctuary for the save. A Paladin needs to get a little bit more mana. Perhaps a Clarity Potion could help, as we're going to see another Holy Light save that Knight right there at the last possible moment. The Knights are going after the Crypt Fiends, but the Staff of Sanctuary cooldowns are starting to, well, become an issue, as more and more units are still trying to save. There goes another Crypt Fiend again, but Knights are falling and getting traded. 33 supply compared to 33. A back and forth matchup so far, and without any additional healing, problems are still coming. All right, Water Elemental pushing pushing out across the battlefield, perhaps trying to get to that one obsidian statue. A little bit of damage could be enough as the obsidian statue purposely blocks the way right there. Flying machines perhaps could bombard that obsidian statue. It is at 24 hit points. Flying machines, there, that is a low hit point obsidian statue right there. Just bombard it, take it down. No, the Crypt Fiends are able to web it down as the Death Knight gets resurrected at the tavern. All right, that obsidian statue back in play. We see some unsummoning by PCG123, trying to get every bit of gold that it can. Perhaps buy a scroll of healing, potion of lesser invulnerability, sell that scroll of town portal. You have nowhere to teleport to. If PCG123 bought that scroll of town portal, that was a complete waste, and he may actually forget that he can't use the scroll of town portal since he has nothing to target. Staff of Sanctuary saves again as the units are still, well, trying to get back together. Off to the north, there is no gold mine. There is no haunted gold mine, and we're seeing some water elementals getting, well, summoned back down. Low hit point knight right here. Do we see a scroll of town portal for the human? No, we do not. Deathnote does not have a scroll of town portal either. All right, getting a little bit of additional gold. Paladin trying to get to level 5 won't be able to get there, as we're looking at this knight easily getting cleaned up. 21 supply compared to 40. There's a handful of buildings left, and that is it. What is the Archmage doing? Archmage is just trying to earn a bit more gold, perhaps? Get a little bit more experience. Getting that Mountain King to level 5 would be a very big deal, but, well, would it be enough? We could turn this into a base race scenario, as all of these, well, corner creep camps are now getting cleaned up. Mountain King gets up to level 5. Couple more Murlocs going to get cleaned up here, purposely not engaging or finishing it off until the Mountain King is gone to get a little bit more experience. Now 41 experience away from level 5. All right, every bit of experience is going to matter. The fact that there are obsidian statues out on the battlefield means that, well, the glue is still going to hold this army together, at least for now. Flying machines could try and go after the destroyers. Here we go. Where are the Crypt Fiends? There's the Crypt Fiends finally bringing up the rear, and we could be going into an engagement. All right, both sides going to fight their way through. Flying machines going to try to go after the destroyers. Destroyers could have a very bad day. It gets shot down quickly, as we're looking at a 20 supply going up against a 35. The saving grace right now for Deathnote is that Deathnote does have Staff of Sanctuaries across 2 of his heroes and can constantly just try and save units. However, Undead, now using Wand of the Wind, able to pick up the Paladin and force a fight here. Here we go into a fight. Naga Seawitch could be in a lot of trouble. He gets no heal. There's a Thunderclap. Naga Seawitch gets a little bit of a heal there. Not quite sure how he did it. Perhaps a potion of healing as the Naga Seawitch gets sniped down. This gives level 5 to the Paladin. Paladin able to stay alive, unable to save that Knight, though, as both sides still fighting their way through. All right, are we going to be going after the Death Knight now? Death Knight has a Scroll of Town Portal. There's a Holy Light right there. There's a Death Coil. Archmage could be in trouble. Staff of Sanctuary saves it in time as the Paladin now continuing the fight back here. Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight does have a Scroll of Town Portal, but he has no way to use it. He has no way to use it, and the Mountain King and Paladin are able to finish it off. Death Knight falls at level 5. Mountain King is completely surrounded, as well, the Mountain King able to break out of that paper bag so easily with just one Thunderclap, clearing out so many hit points. Lich gonna be in trouble, down to 139 hit points. There's a potion of lesser invulnerability. Both sides fighting. Mountain King is gonna be able to hang on here, and Lich's invulnerability only lasts another second, and that is gonna be it. All right, Paladin trying to retreat back. Mountain King ends up staying alive, and that is the game. I really think PCG123 forgot that he had unsummoned his Black Citadel, his Town Hall, thinking that a Scroll of Town Portal is just another invulnerability item to reset. He miscalculated and ended up losing that Death Knight. hats off to Deathnote for perhaps recognizing the situation, clicking on that Death Knight, seeing a Scroll of Town portal, no potion of invulnerability, and going straight after that target. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.